This is not your childhood Beauty and the Beast. Forget the ballroom dance, forget the singing teacups and the charming prince in a fairy tale castle. That story, the one etched into our collective childhood, is just one single perfect rose in a garden overgrown with much darker, more twisted thorns. The tale as old as time has been changing. That single, cursed rose now fuels modern tales of suspense, corporate espionage, and blistering dark romance. The Beast is no longer just a fairy tale creature. He's a ruthless mogul in a skyscraper fortress built of glass and stock options. And Belle isn't just a book-loving villager. She's an investigative journalist, a corporate spy, or a daughter hell-bent on revenge. So we're about to peel back the petals on the story you think you know. We'll look at the story's surprisingly dark origins, and then explore the modern retellings that have resurrected its sinister, complicated heart. This is the truth behind the magic, the grit beneath the glamour, because this is not your childhood Beauty and the Beast. Section 1. The Gilded Cage of Nostalgia. First, let's picture the version we all know and love, the one Disney masterfully crafted in 1991. A brilliant, beautiful, and slightly odd young woman named Belle feels like an outcast in her small French town. She dreams of adventure, completely buried in her books. Her father, a sweet but eccentric inventor, gets lost in the woods and stumbles upon an enchanted castle, where he's imprisoned by a monstrous beast. To save him, Belle sacrifices her own freedom, taking her father's place. The castle, we learn, is cursed. The beast is really a prince, and his servants have all been transformed into household objects just because he was cruel and selfish. The only way to break the curse is true love, and the enchanted rose in the West Wing is a ticking clock. If the last petal falls before the beast can love and be loved in return, everyone is doomed. Through some trials, a few tantrums, and a really touching scene with a spoonful of oatmeal, Belle's kindness starts to chip away at the beast's hardened exterior. He shows her his library. They have a snowball fight. They share that iconic dance in the golden ballroom. She sees the man behind the monster, and he learns how to love. It's a beautiful, sweeping romance about looking past appearances to find the beauty within. It's a masterpiece. But that's not how the original story goes. Not even close. Section 2. The darker original bargain. To find the real roots of this story, we have to go back to 1740, to a novel by Gabrielle Suzanne Barbault de Villeneuve. Her version, La Belle et la Bête, was not written for children. It was less a bedtime story and more a political cartoon for adults, taking aim at the grim reality of arranged marriages for young women in 18th century France. In Villeneuve's world, this wasn't a romance, it was a business transaction, and beauty was the asset being signed over. The story was a clear allegory for a young woman being handed over to a rich but potentially repulsive nobleman. The beast's nightly proposal to marry him wasn't a hopeful plea. It was like the fine print on a contract she was being forced to sign, an implicit demand to share her bed. Her only power in this gilded cage was like a single veto stamp, her ability to say no and withhold consent. The story is also wrapped in a backstory so complex, it feels like tuning into the season finale of a soap opera. There are warring fairy factions, a warrior queen mother too busy for her son, and an evil fairy who cursed the prince after he rejected her. And for the truly shocking twist, it's revealed that Beauty isn't a merchant's daughter. She's the secret child of a king and a good fairy, which makes her family tree a tangled wreath because it makes her the beast's cousin. This original tale wasn't about gentle romance. It was a story about female subjugation, consent under duress, and deeply tangled family secrets. That darkness was buried for centuries, but in modern fiction, it's being dug up in some thrilling new ways. Section 3. The Beast is a billionaire mogul. Now let's jump to the 21st century, where the story has been radically reimagined. The enchanted castle is no longer a stone fortress in a forgotten forest. It's a penthouse that pierces the clouds, a fortress built not of stone, but of server farms and stock options. And the Beast? He's a CEO. Take Rebecca Zanetti's dark romance novel, One Cursed Rose. It's the perfect distillation of this modern, ruthless beast. The story is set in a twisted version of Silicon Valley, where our beast is Thorn Beatoch, the feared head of a cutthroat social media company. Our Belle is Alana Beaumont, heir to a rival media giant. To save her family's failing company, she's arranged to marry a competitor's son, but after an assassination attempt, Alana is rescued, or maybe kidnapped, by Thorn, the very beast whose empire is destroying her family. The curse here isn't a magical hex. It's more like a hostile computer virus infecting a corporate network, woven from espionage and family lies. Thorn thinks Alana might be the key to fixing it, or maybe she's the hacker who planted it. Consent isn't a simple yes or no. It's a high-stakes contract negotiation, full of clauses and loopholes. This isn't a misunderstood prince. He's a calculating mogul who takes what he wants. And he wants Alana. Section 4. A single rose, 1,000 twists. At the core of almost every version is the enchanted rose. In Disney's tale, it's a beautiful, tragic clock. But in modern retellings, that single symbol has become a Swiss Army knife of plot devices. It's no longer just a flower, it's a key, a weapon, a memory trigger. Look at the Disney-published book As Old as Time by Liz Braswell. The premise is game-changing. What if Belle's mother was the enchantress who cursed the beast? In this version, when Belle touches the rose, it's like plugging a USB drive straight into her brain, downloading a 21-year-old family mystery she never knew existed. Suddenly, the romance becomes a detective story, with Belle and the Beast working together to unravel a dark secret connecting their families. The rose is the key that unlocks a hidden history, shifting the focus from will they fall in love to what really happened. In darker retellings like One Cursed Rose, the flower becomes the ticking clock on a hostile takeover, or a falling stock price visualized as a flower with each petal drop signaling another point lost on the Dow. The rose represents everything the beast stands to lose, not just his humanity, but his entire empire. These versions prove the rose is far more potent than a pretty flower. It's a catalyst for suspense, mystery, and shocking revelations. Section 5. Why we crave the darkness. So why this shift? Why are we drawn to these darker versions? Perhaps we're not looking for something new, but returning to the story's original purpose. Villanueva's 1940 tale was holding up a mirror to the world its readers lived in, addressing anxieties about marriage, agency, and power. Modern retellings are doing the exact same thing, just for our time. They use the fairy tale framework to explore distinctly modern fears. The beast is no longer a prince cursed for vanity. He's the living embodiment of a market crash, a walking symbol of our anxiety about unchecked corporate greed. The curse is no longer just magical. It's a public scandal or a dark family secret that threatens to bring down an entire company. And Belle is no longer a passive captive. She's a hacker determined to crack the system, a whistleblower ready to expose the truth from the inside. She meets the beast's power with her own intellect and sheer force of will. This evolution reflects our desire for more complex heroines who challenge the beasts of their world, rather than just trying to tame them. Conclusion. From a cautionary tale about arranged marriage, to a beloved animated classic, to a modern thriller exploring corporate greed, the story of Beauty and the Beast has proven to be endlessly adaptable. The sanitized version we grew up with is a beautiful story, But it's just one facet of a much larger, more complex jewel. These darker retellings aren't destroying the fairy tale. They're reconnecting it to its gritty, complicated roots and using its powerful symbols to ask tough questions about our own time. They remind us that monsters aren't always covered in fur. Sometimes they wear tailored suits. And sometimes the most dangerous curses aren't magical at all. Which version of the beast do you find more compelling?